Alright, I'm going to do my Record Story 2018 pickups. These were ones that I had grabbed yesterday. Just haven't had a chance to do the video yet. I will start alphabetically. I got Brothers Osborn, Port St. Joe. The original release of the album was on the 20th, 4/20. In which case the album has Weed, Whiskey, and Willie, which is 4 minutes and 20 seconds long. I picked it up because it was translucent green, but then again, the regular edition was like a sea glass. It was like a translucent, like blue-green. It was gorgeous. Kind of wish I'd gotten that one instead. Main reason isn't because of the color difference, but because with it being a few dollars more expensive, this came inside of it. It had, on this side, various packages that you can get for the album and some of the merchandise. On the other side, it's a picture. This version also came with a t-shirt, I forgot to mention. On this side, it's a picture of the t-shirt, and it gave a link to the website to put in for it. I thought it'd have like a code or something you had to put in, but with it just being a website, it's like I almost feel like if I would have just seen the code online somewhere, I could have saved like the $5 and gotten the other version. I prefer the other color to this one. There's the translucent green. On my copy, there's a few, I see a little bit of like black in here. I don't know if they just didn't fully clear it off the platter before they created mine. There's also what looked to be an imperfection there, but it doesn't seem to affect play, and I don't think it actually was on the surface. Same thing with over here where it's like a white speck. It looked like they may have messed up on there. It looked like it had caused an issue, but it didn't affect play at all. This is the only one of the albums I picked up that I've listened to so far. This one seems to have gotten dirty. I'll have to clean it up a little bit. Next is Eric Church, 61 Days in Church covers, which is 8 covers that are on here from his 61 Days in Church collection, which is going to be an 18 LP set. With this, it came from the 61 days of the Hold My Own tour he did, which was just him. There was no opening act. It was like 2 or 3 sets with just him. It was, and his band, with some of the songs being like fully acoustic. There was like 30 some songs, like 34 to 37 a night. He would do some covers. Some of them would be related to the particular towns that he was doing. Like there's one that's not included on here that he did in Cincinnati, Ohio. He did I'm a Ramblin' Man by Waylon Jennings. And with that particular song, there's a lyric in there, which is, met a girl in Cincinnati where the Ohio River flows, which is probably why he picked that particular song for Cincinnati. One thing about the cover of this is all of the little images on here are from the various tour posters for each town, because each town had its own particular poster that was unique. And the inner labels for here are the same way. It's traditional black, so I don't really need to fully pull it out of here. It's 8 covers that are on here. He did Better Man by Pearl Jam. It was in Tacoma, Washington. I'm guessing there must not have been a Seattle one, or if there was, he did someone else for Seattle. Turn the Page by Bob Seger's on here. Dixie Chicken, I'm not sure who that's a cover of. 6 Days on the Road, which is an older country song. Rusty Cage by Soundgarden, which was in Washington, D.C. I'm not sure if there was any reasoning behind him picking that particular song for that day. Allentown, Midnight Rider by the Allman Brothers, he did in Nashville, Tennessee. And then American Woman featuring Glenn Hughes in Denver, Colorado. And that was a Guess Who cover. Next was an album a lot of people find kind of controversial, which is Bob Dylan, The Grateful Dead, Dylan and the Dead. It says that it was the 30th anniversary reissue of the tour. The reason I'm calling it controversial is there are people out there who's like, oh, this is the worst thing in the Grateful Dead catalog and the Bob Dylan catalog, which, mind you, they're not the best versions of the songs. I happen to enjoy the album, though. It includes songs like I Want You, which is off of Blonde on Blonde, and All Along the Watchtower, which is on John Wesley Harding, and Knocking on Heaven's Door, which I think was on the Billy the Kid soundtrack, maybe? I don't know, there's like 7 songs on here, I think. Yeah, 7 songs. And on here, download code, picture of the Grateful Dead and then Bob Dylan in the front. In the back it lists the members, Bob Dylan and the members, the Grateful Dead, the producers, engineers, etc. on here. And this is, in my opinion, one of the most gorgeous records I've ever seen. With this blue and red splatter with some like yellow on here as well. On the second side, which is far more red out of it. I really like how this turned out. Maybe one of my favorite looking records that I own and have actually seen. Then we've got Jason Isbell and the 400 Units live at Twist and Shout, November 16th, 2007, which it says on here that it was recorded live in 2007, pressed on 180 gram vinyl for the first time. It includes the songs Grown, Goddamn Lonely Love, Hurricanes, and Hand Grenades. On side B is Danko Manuel Outfit, which was a cover of Drive-By Truckers, which is a band that Jason Isbell was in prior to going solo and starting up with the 400 Unit, and a cover of Van Morrison's Into the Mystic. It's a traditional black with pretty basic inner labels. Then there's Linkin Park's One More Light Live, which is a from the last tour that they did before Chester passed. This is a numbered record. Mine is number 711. It also includes, with various images from the touring, things with all their information about like who their booking agents are, tour managers, such, and down here a little thank you and tribute to Chester. What I don't understand is cover is black, white, and gray. Both of the double LP are pretty much the same, so I'm just going to show one. And it is gold and black. So I'm not entirely sure why they went gold and black if the cover is black, white, and gray, or they could have even went different than the CD and digital cover and replaced like the white with gold on the cover. I don't know, it's just me nitpicking, but I tend to enjoy albums where if it's a colored vinyl, the color in some way makes sense with the album itself. And the last of the that was the last of the regular releases. Then I also picked up Jeff Buckley's Live at Cine, I'm not entirely sure, which is a 4 LP box set. I got number 1657. As you can tell, I haven't opened this one yet. Reason being, I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to keep it. I may end up selling it online, or I may open it and listen to it, because Jeff Buckley is pretty much a legendary artist, even though he only released one full studio album. Down here, then I'm guessing at the venue, because it says it was 34 songs recorded live during Jeff Buckley's Cafe Days in the summer of 1993. Some other images of him on here as well. There's also on here some of them like monologues and such. him covering Just Like a Woman by Bob Dylan. I think there was a cover of, there might have been a Zeppelin cover on here, I think, and another one or two covers, I'm not entirely sure right offhand. Then I also got a Hank Williams 40 Greatest Hits. It wasn't a Record Store Day release that I picked up used. Gatefold, some various images of him. Track listing on the back. Something I don't fully understand about this is it's called 40 Greatest Hits, but yet it doesn't have You're Cheating Hard on here. And I think there's one or two other songs that I really liked of his that are more known that weren't on here, that I'm kind of surprised that it was, called 40 Greatest Hits and they weren't included. But you can't really pass up doing 40 songs that I picked up for $4.99. I think it was 10 songs per side, so I'm not sure how well the quality is going to be on it. I haven't listened to it yet. Then in here, I also had some things that I got from the Record Store Day that they gave as like souvenirs with it. There was a Starving the Belly of the Whale Conversations, which I had on vinyl. I showed in one of my collection videos. Sivu, Sweet, Sweet Silence. Looks like it was on Third Rock Music. I have no idea. I haven't listened to this before. I have no idea about the music, so I'm not sure how it is. Bloodshot Records, Sarah Shook and the Disarmers. Once again, no idea about the style of music, but it was free sample on here. A Fat Possum Records sticker. I also got one last year during Record Store Day and the bag. A Who's With Me button, which was from Jack White. They gave these out during the listening party that they had for the album a few weeks before the release, which I already have one. It's on my guitar strap, so I don't really need a second one. And a Record Store Day sampler with 20 songs on here. Quite a few of them I haven't heard of. Ones I have heard of, like Diplo, Matt Costa. I think I've heard of the Nude Party, Rick Springfield, Slightly Stupid, Water Parks. And then there was also a Omega Music, which is the record shop that I went to, the sticker for them. And there was also a specialized beer that they partnered with a brewery also from Dayton called Warped Wing, and the beer was called Double LP. I'm not really a fan of IPAs or double